evening. I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Government active in making feeble all entities that conduct monitorings, applying hooks on those raising questions and criticizing the government, neglects rising protests. Main opposition Nepali Congress protests demanding to take action against those involved in cooperatives fraud, accuses CPN-UML Chair Oli of hindering in the formation of a parliamentary probe committee. Bangladesh and India brace for cyclone Remal, the first of the year, as the storm with winds up to 120 kilometers per hour is set to make landfall overnight. And Sunrisers Hyderabad give Kolkata Knight Riders a victory target of 114 runs in the Indian Premier League final. Andre Russell signs with the ball, Kolkata inching towards victory. The budget for the upcoming fiscal year is scheduled to be presented at the Parliament this Tuesday at 1 p.m. Speaker Devraj Ghimire has called the meeting of the joint session of the Federal Parliament this Tuesday at 1 p.m. to announce the budget for the upcoming fiscal year. Speaker Ghimire has urged lawmakers to reach the Parliament by 12:45 p.m. on the day the budget is being unveiled. Finance Minister Barsaman Poon is scheduled to unveil the budget for the fiscal year 2024-25 in the joint session of the House of Representatives and the National Assembly this Tuesday. There is a constitution provision to unveil the budget on 15th of Jyeshtha as per the Nepali calendar, which is on 28th of May this year. The meeting of the House of Representatives, however, has been called for 4 p.m. on the same day. Meanwhile, today's session of the House of Representatives passed the government's policies and programs amid obstruction by main opposition Nepali Congress. Finance Minister Poon presented the financial survey for the upcoming budget and the annual report of the public institution from the well of the House of Representatives today amid protests by Nepali Congress lawmakers. Lawmaker of Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Swarnim Wagle, called the protests by the opposition embarrassing and meaningless. Speaking at the start of today's meeting of the House of Representatives, Chief Whip of Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, Gyanendra Bahadur Shahi, said investigations should be carried out on Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane, who has been alleged of involvement in cooperatives fraud. Meanwhile, the meeting of the National Assembly was also held today. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal has expressed confidence that consensus will be reached between the political parties ahead of unveiling the budget for the upcoming fiscal year. While responding to the queries raised on the government's policies and programs at the Parliament today, Premier Dahal urged everyone to show flexibility on deciding the terms of reference of the Parliamentary Probe Committee. Prime Minister Dahal also informed that he was making efforts to end the ongoing obstruction at the Parliament. Dahal said that he was unhappy with the Parliament obstruction and it should end at the earliest. In our Public Voice segment, today we have asked people in several provinces what they think of going ahead with the Parliament sessions amid protests and obstructions. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
जनताको मुद्दालाई सम्बोधन गर्नै पर्ने अवस्था रहन्छ त्यो हिसाबमा पनि त्यो सरकारले केही बाध्यतात्मक अवस्थामा गर्नु स्वाभाविक पनि हो
संसदीय मूल्य र मान्यताको उल्लङ्घन हो
सत्ता पक्षका कतिपय कुराहरू निरङ्कुशतिर बढिरहेको मैले महसुस गरिरहेको छु
एउटा न्यूको हिसाबले सरकारमा भन्दा बाहिर छ भन्ने खालको त्यो रिस राख
जनताको पक्षमा गर्ने पर्ने कामहरू कुनै पार्टीले नगरे देखिन्छ
राष्ट्रको लागि देशको लागि सोच्ने कोही पनि छैन त्यही भएर यस्तो भइरहेछ
जनताको अधिकारलाई कुल्चिएर आफू चाहिने जो स्वार्थ छ हरेक चीज उसमा फसेका छ सरकारहरु
नेताहरुले आफ्नो लागि मात्र यसो हेर्दाखेरि आफ्नो लागि आफ्नो फाइदाको लागि मात्रै गर्दा रहेछन्
हाम्रो जनप्रतिनिधिहरूले नेपाली जनताको मतलाई अवहेलना गर्दै चाहिँ संसदमा चाहिँ नि लडाकु मचाएको छ
अहिलेको सरकारले प्रतिपक्षलाई मात्रै नभएर नेपालका आम जनतालाई पेल्ने काम भएको छ
Protests against the government from the streets to the Parliament have intensified. People who have walked for days to reach Kathmandu in search of justice, public demanding actions against those involved in cooperatives fraud, among others, have been protesting on a daily basis. However, the government has turned deaf ears to the demands of the protesters. Main opposition Nepali Congress has been continuously raising the issue of cooperatives fraud at the parliament. The government is forcing its way ahead at the parliament, moving works ahead, saying that efforts are being made to meet the demands. The government should be responsible towards the parliament. However, even when the opposition has been protesting and encircling the wall, the government has been carrying out its works amid protection provided by marshals. The Speaker also seems to be in support of the government. The effects of the federal parliament have also fallen on the committees, which have affected entities that monitor and warn the government from taking the wrong path. The government at the moment is not focused on issues of public concern, nor is it addressing the questions raised at the committees. The government is neglecting the opposition as much as possible. The government has also neglected the voices of the civil society as well as the top leaders of the ruling parties. The government does not want any questions to be raised against it. The media is responsible to continuously keep the government in check. However, the government is searching for excuses to control the media. The constitutional commissions are also silent in recent time. As the government is trying to weaken the mechanisms that monitor its actions, it clearly shows that it is trying to put everything under its control and tighten its grip. Main opposition Nepali Congress has claimed that CPN-UML was the reason for the failure to form the parliamentary committee to probe into the cooperatives fraud case. The opposition has claimed that CPN-UML chair KP Sharma Oli has been trying to form a namesake committee by excluding the name of Home Minister Rabi Lamechhane in the case. Nepali Congress today took to the streets saying that the Home Minister had involvement in cooperatives fraud. The party has been obstructing the parliament sessions for some time now, demanding for the formation of the probe committee. Protest was held in the Exhibition Road in the capital today. Addressing the assembly, Nepali Congress General Secretary Bishwaprakash Sharma said CPN-UML chair Oli had tried to protect his own leaders and cadres by protecting Rabi Lamechhane in return for protection of his leaders in the Giribandhu scandal. He added that Nepali Congress wanted to shed light on the plight of 7.3 million victims of cooperatives. In the context of the arrest of Kantipur Media Group chair Kailash Shiroya, Sharma demanded for a probe into the Home Minister, who possesses 2 passports himself, and those are the Parliament who had dual citizenship. Victims of cooperative fraud protested on the streets and continued their fasting for the 3rd day today. The victims of cooperatives fraud have been involved in the 3rd stage of the protest, demanding the government to honor past deals. They have demanded the government to immediately establish a fund of 25 billion rupees and return their hard-earned savings. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, which area should be prioritized in the next fiscal year's budget for the development of sports sector? 65% voted for A, development of infrastructure, 20% for B, players capacity building, and 15% for C, raise sports activities. And here's today's question. Why is the role of the National Human Rights Commission feeble? Your options are A, non-cooperation by the government, B, weakness of office bearers, and C, lack of resources. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the international updates. Bangladesh and India braced today for Cyclone Rimal, the first of the year, as the storm with wind speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour is set to make landfall overnight. India's weather department said today. The Bangladesh Weather Office raised its storm danger signal to 10, the highest level for 2 ports and 9 coastal districts, announcing warnings over loudspeakers and starting to evacuate people from coastal areas. Nearly 60,000 people have been moved to shelters since morning. The low-lying coasts of Bangladesh and India, 2 South Asian neighbors, have experienced frequent severe storms in recent years. Cyclone Yas in 2021, for instance, left more than 50,000 people homeless and killed at least 1. Bangladesh has set up nearly 8,000 cyclone shelters and mobilized 78,000 volunteers, the State Minister for Disaster Management and Relief, Mohibur Rahman, informed. India has deployed its disaster relief force in the eastern state of West Bengal. Flights have been suspended at the major metropolitan city of Kolkata. Parts of West Bengal have started experiencing bouts of moderate rainfall, and the government has cancelled leave for employees in essential services, a civic body official said. The Indian Navy also said it had kept ships, aircraft, divers, and medical supplies on standby for deployment if required. The landfall of Cyclone Rimal will take place between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. Southnath Datta, head of the weather forecast section in Regional Meteorological Center in Kolkata, informed. Pictures on social media platform X showed the disaster management team alerting tourists at a beacon in West Bengal. A number of trains traveling through areas that fall in the ambit of the cyclone storm were also cancelled, another official informed. At least 7 newborn babies have died and 5 have been injured following a fire at a hospital in Delhi, India. The blaze broke out late last night at a hospital in the Indian capital's Vivek Vihar region. Senior police officer Surendra Chaudhary said there were 12 babies in the unit. Authorities said legal action would be taken against the owner of the hospital, who had fled. Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said the fire was heartbreaking. He said the causes of the incident are being investigated and whoever is responsible for this negligence will not be spared. The director of Delhi's fire department, Atul Garg, said that 14 fire trucks were sent to fight the blaze. Officials said rescue efforts were slowed by limited access to the building, which has a single staircase and no fire escape. The hospital is squeezed between residential houses, and it is not clear yet whether it followed all safety regulations nor what initially caused the fire. Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrote on X, formerly Twitter, that the fire tragedy at a hospital in Delhi was heart-rending. Earlier yesterday, a massive fire broke out at a games arcade in Rajkot in the western state of Gujarat. Local officials said at least 27 people have perished in that blaze. Many of the victims are believed to be children.
Sports news.
Kolkata Knight Riders defeated Sunrisers Hyderabad by 8 wickets to win the Indian Premier League title for the 3rd time. In the final played at M.A. Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai tonight, Sunrisers Hyderabad elected to bat first and were bowled out in 18.3 overs for a paltry total of 113 runs. Hyderabad had a disastrous start as they were 2 wickets down when only 6 runs were on the board after 2 overs and lost 4 wickets when the score was 47 after 7 overs. Hyderabad kept losing wickets at regular intervals and were finally bowled out for 113 runs. Skipper Pat Cummins with 24 runs off 19 balls was the leading scorer for Hyderabad. Aiden Makram also contributed 20 runs to Hyderabad total, and Henrich Klassen added 16 runs. Andre Russell was the pick of the Kolkata bowlers, grabbing 3 wickets. Chasing a victory target of 114 runs, Kolkata romped home in 8 overs, losing 2 wickets. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.